around the world. I'm Vivin Nath, part of the product management team for our cloud data warehouse and data lake portfolio of products. Welcome to this tech talk on building efficient high performance data pipelines with Informatica. This is the third webinar in our four-part tech talk series. A few housekeeping items before we start. First of all, to let you know, this session will be recorded, so you can play it back later on demand. We will be the fourth webinar will be on April 1st, and finally, post all your questions through the chat window, and we will reach out to you with our responses. All right, so let's get started. Um, the way I've kind of laid it out is I'll start with a little bit about the market trends and use cases, then dive into our reference architecture, talk about how you can use this reference architecture in your deployments, talk about a case study, follow it up with a real life use case demo, and wrap it up with some key takeaway slides. So uh, we're seeing a huge transformation and disruption in not only the technology landscape, but also in use cases, integration patterns, databases, and ecosystem. The center of gravity is fast shifting to the cloud in the form of movement to the cloud data lakes and data warehouse from on-premise systems, right? So the newer integration patterns have emerged to support these newer use cases in the form of ELT, real-time, event-driven, and serverless architectures. Now, you've seen that Hadoop has been replaced with Spark processing. Relational databases have been replaced with NoSQL, columnar, and document data stores. Even the traditional ecosystem giants have been superseded by the new cloud ecosystem hyperscalers. On the data front, we are seeing an explosion in data volume uh, and more data sources coming online, proliferation of data formats, increasing velocity of data, and there are not only more consumers of data, but also they are being consumed in more and different ways. Now, these market challenges and digital transformation will demand management of petabytes of scale, petabytes of data by cloud native solutions. So you will need to ingest all this data at scale, cleanse, govern, secure it, and extract insights and generate recommendations. But using point solutions for each step would result in systems that are fragmented, incompatible, unable to scale, and ultimately fail. What you need is a comprehensive end-to-end data management capability. With Informatica, we provide this end-to-end data management capability from supporting traditional data integration patterns, supporting ETL, ELT, batch, real-time integration techniques to application integration techniques and API management capabilities. We support also the newer and unique patterns from mass ingestion, streaming, change data capture to data catalogs, data quality and profiling, master data management solutions such as Customer 360, Reference 360, etc. So we cater to a broad range of personas as well, from data engineer, ETL developer to citizen integrator and data analyst, data steward kind of personas as well. Now, Informatica supports all these data patterns from batch, real-time to CDC. And for each of these patterns, we have a bespoke engine, whether that be our secure agent-based processing or Spark-based engine running on Kubernetes, or the SQL-based pushdown optimization engine. And we have supported these engines for a while, but the key differentiators are the innovations that make these data integration solutions enterprise grade, such as providing out of the box resiliency and self-heal capabilities, right? Or the elastic operations with auto scaling, auto tuning, and advanced serverless deployment make it extremely simple to build and deploy data integration workloads at scale. The runtime optimization for compute, uh, high concurrency, optimized Kubernetes scheduling, custom Spark listener, they all kind of help deliver the best performance when it comes to running heavy data volume, data engineering workloads. So the outcome of all these innovations is a single unified platform that can support all types of data management use cases, right from database, from data ingestion to integration to data governance as customer 360 solutions. Now let's look at a reference blueprint architecture that we call as our Lakehouse architecture, which enables you to power your business intelligence, analytics, and data science and machine learning journey. So before even loading the data practitioners first need to understand the origin of the data, understand the data attributes, the the lineage for better data governance, and that's where the data catalog and governance piece comes in to help you discover and identify the right data. So once you've discovered the data, you need to ingest this, and you can use our mass ingestion product to ingest the data at scale to a cloud data lake, for instance. Once you have ingested the data into the data lake, you want to transform it, enrich it, cleanse it using data integration and data quality solutions. Now, typically, data lakes have large data volumes, which benefit from processing using our cloud data integration elastic Spark-based processing. Now, this Spark-based processing engine is custom built to work with big data and machine learning workloads in the cloud. Now, once your data is cleaned, certain use cases such as the BI analytics may require data to be loaded into a cloud data warehouse. And for that, you can use again our cloud data elastic Spark-based execution or our pushdown optimization engine as well. And finally, once you have your data in your cloud data warehouse, you can again use the pushdown optimization engine to slice and dice the data set, wrangle the data set, all while maintaining the data within your data warehouse itself. In this session, we will be focused on this aqua box, I would say, where we will be focusing on data integration and quality and push down optimization, and of course, our Spark-based processing. Now, now I talked about two very dominant patterns out there for data integration. One is ETL, other being ELT. The ELT pattern are more efficient when when your source and target are in the same systems or in the same ecosystems. For instance, once your data is in your cloud data warehouse, users typically want to further refine and aggregate, slice and dice the data set for their BI analytic purposes. For these simpler transformation within the cloud data warehouse, ELT is a clear choice. And we deliver ELT through advanced push down optimization with cloud data integration. With advanced push down optimization, you do not have to move the data out of the ecosystem. The data processing happens directly on the target database using either leveraging the cloud native ecosystem commands or instructions, or we convert our data mapping into SQL queries that directly execute on the database cluster. So the great thing about that is there are no data egress charges because you're not moving the data out of the cloud ecosystem, and you can leverage the power of the database cluster to execute all your queries within that database cluster or data warehouse cluster at scale, and gives you faster performance. So that's where like ELT patterns are more popular. The other technique is the ETL pattern, and this is more appropriate when you have to perform very complex transformation, where you have to normalize the data set, cleanse it, or aggregated, all that you can perform using the ETL pattern. And it's more relevant when you're dealing with data science and machine learning use cases that typically involves working with huge data set at higher data volumes. Um, now, so let me actually now go into the details of the data integration engine. As you know, there is the uh, we we provide allow you to build your mappings, but also allow you to orchestrate your mappings using a task flow where you can have your decision trees built in to execute the different mappings. Now, the execution engine is also intelligent. Well, it can route based on the kind of mapping to one of these three engines. One is a secure agent-based cloud native processing where you can deploy this either on our cloud, on your cloud, or on your hybrid or on-premises infrastructure. And then the other one is the advanced pushdown optimization, where the execution happens directly on the source or target system, typically on the cloud ecosystem itself. And the third type of processing is the serverless processing, which executes on a Spark compute cluster. Now, I will get into the details for each one of these uh, the engines. So let's start with the pushdown execution. So what pushdown, advanced pushdown optimization does is it converts your mappings to native ecosystem commands and SQL queries so that they can execute directly on your ecosystem. For instance, you're moving data from S3 to Redshift, it will it will execute that directly on this ecosystem so that you're not moving the data out, so you don't incur any data egress charges. Plus, you can leverage the power of, let's say you have a Snowflake data warehouse which runs on a big database cluster. You can execute directly on Snowflake machine and use the compute power to execute it faster at scale. So the net result is the advanced pushdown capability is 50 times more powerful and more faster than ETL-based processing. It gives you the best performance of any ELT engine. This is actually our ELT engine, so it gives you the best performance of ELT engine out there. It comes with broadest array of connectivity, and and all this you can do it using the GUI-based drag and drop interface that you've been familiar with Informatica, right? Now, the other execution models are using, the one I talked about, cloud native processing, where you can deploy the secure agent on either our cloud, your cloud, or your on-premises ecosystems. Now, this is the one that you see on the left over here. And this is ideally suited if you want to manage and scale your own infrastructure. So there are many enterprise customers out there who want to manage it fully themselves. So this is well suited for that kind of pattern. However, we have seen with with growing data volumes, you need to scale, you need to manage the compute, you need to manage uh, your clusters. So if you don't want to deal with that, and you want to deal with uh, you want to deal with infrastructure scaling and maintenance, and you want to ensure that like Informatica takes care of it, and but you want to ensure that data processing happens still in your environment, you can go with CDI Elastic, which is our Spark based compute, where all the processing happens on your environment, but we manage it for you complete end to end, so you don't have to worry about Spark, what kind of a Spark executor, how many Spark executor nodes you need to have, how much Spark executor memory you should allocate. All that knowledge you don't need to do, neither the overhead. So we take care of it. Now, if you want to take that frictionless experience a little further, you can use our advanced serverless offering, where you don't have to deal with infrastructure provisioning, infrastructure scaling, maintenance, none of those. And you don't even have to procure any compute infrastructure. So we manage it for you. And this is completely serverless. It's true serverless, one of our latest offering, where it's fully managed for you. Even the compute cost for running your data pipelines is incurred by us. So you have like a bunch of flexible deployment options to choose from. Now, on the advanced serverless fronts, which I just talked about, it comes with, there are a lot, because you don't have any infrastructure maintenance, you don't need personnel to manage any of your infrastructure. It gives you one of the lowest total cost of ownership. And because you don't have to worry about any infrastructure, all you can do is your developers can start building your data pipelines and then execute the pipeline. They don't have to worry about where to provision, what to provision, when to scale down. All that is fully taken care by us. And so it helps you to kickstart your POCs faster. It helps to kickstart your production workloads faster and manage them. And you don't have to manage any of them. And it's the best part of this is there is no change to the design experience. You can continue building your existing mapping. In fact, if you have an existing mapping, you can run that directly in your serverless environment by selecting the serverless from the dropdown. Now, our goal is on delivering the most performant and cost-effective data management engine. And the way we do that is by delivering custom engine that is developed, a custom ETL engine, the ETL and ELT engine that is developed on Spark, that runs on Kubernetes to give the best performance for machine learning and big data workloads, processing like 3 terabytes under 2 hours. We also have advanced pushdown that I talked about, which intelligently pushes down the execution to ecosystem by converting the mapping to native ecosystem commands and SQL, and giving you a 50x performance over a ETL engine. We also provide intelligent out-of-the-box auto-scaling, auto-tuning capabilities to give the best performance while removing all the infrastructure scaling, Spark knowledge requirements needed to run your data engineering or machine learning workloads. Also, we have the advanced serverless, which is uh, the industry's only serverless offering for advanced data management with zero infrastructure footprint and zero infrastructure maintenance requirements. Now, Informatica supports a broad range of ecosystems and is available on all the major public clouds, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, across over 12 global regions. And it can be also deployed in private and public cloud deployments as well. So you can rest assured whether your cloud strategy changes in futures or you want to maintain uh, data portability across multiple clouds, or your business teams want to leverage the newest and the best of breed technologies, we have you covered, because we support all these connectors with over 10,000 metadata aware scanners and connectors to support all your integration needs. Um, so I talked about our blueprint architecture, about landing the data, massaging it, enriching it. Now, once you've landed your data in the data lake, before consuming it for analytics or data science and machine learning initiatives, you want to ensure your data is clean and trusted. This is where Informatica Cloud Data Quality comes in. So our cloud data quality delivers the full range of data quality capabilities, including data profiling, cleansing, deduplication, verification, and monitoring. So all that is included. And typically, you start by profiling the data set to discover and understand the anomalies in all your data sources. The profiling also tells you the number of distinct records, null records, or duplicates in your data set, so you know which data quality rule to apply to cleanse the data set. And you can use the same drag and drop interface for your building your data mapping and include data quality rules and transform in your mapping so that These data quality rules can be run as your data is getting migrated to the data warehouse. And that way you have a cleansed data set within your cloud data warehouse to start with. So in a nutshell, data quality ensures that all the data is complete, consistent, accurate, and current regardless of where your data resides. Um, so we value your time and understand that you have many business critical applications to build, manage your data. So to enhance your productivity, what we have done is we have augmented our data integration offering with AI powered intelligence and automation. And throughout the product, from design time, runtime, operational intelligence, and automation. So, for instance, we recommend the next best transform as you're building your mapping, right? So that kind of simplifies your development experience. We also have our intelligent structure discovery parser, which parses your semi-structured and unstructured data to automatically build models to parse the data set. And looking at your, at your workload and use cases, we recommend the right engine for you, whether it's running on a cloud native secure agent processing or a Spark based engine or running it on a pushdown mode. So we take care of all that intelligently for you. We also provide out of the box auto tuning and auto scaling capabilities so you don't have to manage any of the infrastructure scaling requirements. On the operational intelligence front, we also provide resource utilization, and with operational insight, you can do capacity planning so you can make the most efficient use of your data infrastructure and cut down your expenses, right? And likewise, we have a lot of out of the box automation capabilities out there. Now, I'll quickly go into one of the case studies where, Shire, being a leading global biotech company focused on serving people affected by, rare diseases. So they are headquartered in Dublin, Ireland, and have a global presence in over 100 countries. So the use case involved building a data platform for the whole enterprise that enables uh, quick, easy to access analytics tools to speed R&D, and then create an integrated central repository for enterprise data with data lake, data warehouse, and data integration, and use all this research data to fight, these rare diseases and deliver breakthrough therapies faster. Now, what they leveraged is they leveraged a lot of Informatica products from starting from cloud data integration, data quality, the big data products, the cloud application integration, and MDM. And as a result, they were able to accelerate the product development, realize 40 to 50% cost reduction in infrastructure costs by leveraging the out-of-the-box auto-scale and auto-deploy capabilities. Now, let me show you how some of that actually works in the product. So let me show you by showing you a real-life use case and a demo. Uh, let's so in the real world use case, uh, it's a large peer-to-peer ride sharing platform which connects drivers to riders, and they have like connected vehicle applications and generate terabytes of data. They are leveraging Informatica to collect the connected data and operationalize the machine learning models that is used for, you know, optimal positioning of cars for the best coverage, right? And and they also use it for their analytics dashboard. So typically they have a bunch of real-time data, real-time and batch processing requirements where, the data is coming into Kafka, which is getting consumed in different applications. And likewise, all this data is landing in an object store and a data warehouse where it's used for data science, ad hoc exploration, and analytic reporting use cases. So this fits very well with the Lakehouse architecture. So let me go into our product. So as you can see, uh, uh, what we have done is we have in this demo, so we have uh, a um, out of the box streaming ingestion capability. It's a four-step wizard where you can define what your sources and targets are. So in this case, we are selecting Kafka as the source, and the target in this case, in this use case, is an S3 bucket. So you can just select the source and target, specify any transformation and run it. And this is for streaming ingestion. Likewise, you have for database mass ingestion, where again you can perform either an initial or an incremental load and load the data from, say in this case, a SQL, and you can specify whether you want to include all the tables, or you can have your custom expression to select only a few tables and load them into a target. And all this without any hand coding, just four-step wizard to load the data. Now, on the once you've loaded the data into your data, in this case the object store, you want to parse it, like you, and some of this is in, it's in different formats. Some of them is unstructured, semi-structured formats. So what we do is you can use our Informatica intelligent structure discovery capability to put a sample schema of the file, and it automatically uh, you know understand the schema and generates the output, which you can consume in one of your mappings. So this is the mapping which kind of consumes that. And in this mapping, let me refresh this. In this mapping, what we're doing is we're consuming the structure discovery model, and then converting that into, because it's a machine learning use case, we are converting that or flattening that data set using a hierarchy processor. Again, it's a GUI based development. You can specify how your input looks like, and then convert that into a relational uh, expression, and then consume that for machine learning models, right? So one of the things we are doing here in this use case is you can build your machine learning model and consume that using a Python transform. So in this case, use case, the data scientist has developed is using a scikit library along with k-means to cluster and classify the data set uh, to understand like which are the best rider profiles to target in a particular geo's location. And for that, they're also leveraging the Python Panda libraries. Again, you can consume all that. You can build that in Python using any of the data set tool sets out there, including Jupyter Notebook, and then you can operationalize that in your data integration pipeline and load that into a specific target. So, and once you do that, the best part is you can execute that all in a serverless environment, either on elastic processing or on regular CDI. Again, all this in serverless environment, so you don't have to manage all your infrastructure. So that is a very quick demo. Now, to summarize, we provide end-to-end data management capabilities, giving you the broadest connectivity with simple, wizard-based development, where you can operationalize all that using a single symbol drag and drop interface, and then it all that can be deployed at scale with the biggest product with automated self-recommending systems, etc. Now, uh, I want to leave you with few key takeaways in the last 1 minute we have. So most importantly, we provide an end-to-end data management capabilities, and you can leverage all of this in a simple to use manner, which scales, and in a manner which is which is exactly right for you, based no matter what your cloud deployment. We support all the major cloud ecosystems and deployments. And finally, these are, I'm leaving you with some trial links. So if you have never tried this, you can try it out on our Informatica trials, and we have a lot of resources here to help you get started. Feel free to send out your questions. We will reach out to you and respond to you. And finally, thanks again for your time and attending the session. And we will have this recording available and the assets as available for your uh, for reading this later on. Thanks again for joining. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone.